Hey everybody, I'm APH. Welcome back to Timberborn. Now in the last episode, we made some huge progress in getting this area ready to be converted over to its own district. It was at the start of cycle, I believe we're on 15, that I realized we had a major dilemma. We currently have close to 150 beavers. We have close to 800 water. They use 300 water per day. I believe that's correct. They use 2 water per day. Yeah, 300 per day. We have 3 days worth of water. And I think we only have storage for about 1,200 in total, as we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've got 4 water storages in total. I think we're in some actual trouble. So I think we need to make a huge shift in pace here. If we have a drought longer than 20 days, which the route has been, day 14, or cycle 14 was a little bit of a shorter drought, and cycle 13 was a longer drought, and 12 was a shorter drought, and 11 was a longer drought. So if we get a drought much longer than 20 days, I don't know that we have enough water to maintain. And currently we're not producing any gear, so we cannot produce any more actual water tanks. We could produce the small ones, and we could actually spam them out because we've got wood galore, but they only hold 30. So we would be spamming out 150 small water tanks to make enough water to really make it worthwhile. Or we could spam out about 13 large water tanks to kind of get us to where I think we need to be. So we are absolutely in a world of hurt here. This very well, if it is a log drought, could very well be the end of the actual series. So let's do some kind of change of place. Let's put a couple of gear factories down where we can fit them. So let's place an actual factory right here. So we'll delete out that road and we'll go power. Part of me says I should place one here, but there's not an actual enough room. So we'll go gear factory here. And we've got 14 unemployed beefs, so let's do a builder's hut just to kind of try to make things a little bit quicker here. So, builder's hut. Let's place it facing that, and we'll go something like that. We'll absolutely prioritize these to the top of the rung, so they can just whip through that. Now, I don't think I have any room over here to place an actual gear factory. And the gear factories themselves don't produce a whole lot. I could delete these out and place a gear factory over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's delete these out. Place down a gear factory. If I place, let's start with the actual power here, because we might be able to play this a little bit different than what I was thinking. All right, let's place one here, so we can place down a road. That will allow us to keep the lumberjacks. We'll just redesign, and from there we can get our gear workshop and our power. Yeah, that will fit in. Again, this is going to go right to the top of the production chain. So that's 2. Now, how many gears does it take for one water tank? It takes 20. I don't know how many gears they produce in a day, but the honest truth is, like, I don't think that 2 of them are enough to produce enough gears. And this one right here, we're going to have to make an overhaul. Because this is going to shut off once the drought starts, and we're going to want this to go pretty much nonstop. So here's what we should do. We should We should also place one in here. All right, so if we place something about like this with plans on power here and power here, we can connect via a drive shaft and then a T connector there. So we need to be a little bit further out so that we can get to the actual road. Something like that. And I think we need some actual gears over here. So we've got 2 unemployed beef, so this is okay. So let's do a gear workshop right here. Where we do not a water wheel. Yeah, power wheel, and we'll do one there with an actual gear workshop facing. Yeah, let's place it facing that way. And we'll bump this up. All right, let's pause the bakery, as if we have a drought lake, I'm thinking it's going to be irrelevant having a bakery. That's flat out and simple. And do we have room up here for a gear workshop? Because if we do, we're going to place one up here. All right, we've got room right here. Let's plan on this. And then I was looking at this, and there's some water down here. So we might be placing some actual water pumps over here in this episode. All right, so we'll do power wheel. I should actually bring it right up to that road. That was probably actually a much better idea than the actual placing it where I placed it. So we'll just kind of take a quick second to redesign that and kind of go to town. Now, for the actual water itself, we could place 2 large water here. That seems like it's a pretty decent spot for over here. And let's go ahead and bump up to 24-hour shifts. Let's get the clock rolling as I kind of place out where the next couple of water storage are going to go. So in this area right here, I'm thinking we should do water storage. Let's see what that would give us 4. Let's do one more right here. So give us 5 water storage over here. We'll again, we're going to make that kind of a secondary. Let's go ahead and plop those in real quick. Yeah, this will be 1,500 water for this district. I think that this will make this district pretty solid in its design, and what we'll do is we'll place one more water pump over here to go with this. I think that is the route to go. And what we'll do is we'll do the other spot kind of as a fallback. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that works. Place it in a spot that it needed to be, just clicked in the wrong spot. All right, so we've got an extra 1,800 water over here for 54 beeves. I think that this district, if we can get everything going, I think that this is in good shape. Look, it's close to the end of day 1, and we're starting to actually construct this. That's exactly what we wanted. And for over here, again, they're starting to construct this. This is good. And this one's up and going. Yay. All right. So now that that's up and going, we're going to start to maintain our actual gears again. So we need our actual facilities over here. So let's do some water here. This would give us room for 2 tanks. Only another 900. I don't think this is nearly enough. Again, this will be a secondary priority. I think we have a lot of the actual dam is lower priority, so leaving this kind of higher is okay. We should change some priorities, because I think if we get a long dam right now, we're not ready to secure the actual this waterway yet. You know, they've made some good progress, but they're not ready yet. We should build some levees around here, so before they start wasting metal on the statues, let's delete these out so that we can make some alterations. Yeah, let's delete that. Let's delete that. That's good. Next line of business is I'm going to go through, and I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to go through and pause all of the actual breeding pods. That way we're not producing any extra beavers in case this is an actual, like, horrific drought, like I'm suspecting. Let's do water on this side over here. Only 1 highs. Let's do something like that. With water like this. It's going to be absolutely butt ugly. But if it gets us through the next major drought, our theme isn't pretty. It is work hard, and until we can kind of get to a point where water is sustainable. Let's do something like this. Until we can get to a point where water is sustainable, I think we have to kind of make some bending of the rules. All right, so that should. All right, let's move this up to a high priority so that it gets done before the actual drought, and we'll move this up to a secondary. Oh my God, the drought has started in 28 days. So here's kind of our progress. Our first water tank just went live. And we're starting to get... Ooh, our next 2 just came live as well. So we're starting to make that progress in the actual... The way of getting some water. So this is another 900 water that we can store over here. I did have to shut down some buildings to have enough workers. And I'm not sure that we have enough actual water production to maintain. Thinking we have to look at that. But that's something that we're kind of going to review. I did pause everything like I said, and I'm happy that I rearranged this, because we have been we're out of planks for like the first time in a long time. We started out the episode with like a couple hundred, and we're completely out. And so this area, it's slowly coming along, and this area over here, it looks like they're starting to actually fill it up, but not actually ready yet. So that's okay. So we might be in a situation where we might be okay. I did bump it down to 20 hours because what I was noticing is a lot of the beavers would be sleeping at odd hours. So like one of the 2 power wheels would be working. That was causing some issues. Yeah, we've got a beaver sleeping out in the middle of nowhere right here. This area over here, we've got trees that have started to actually mature, and I think it's time to actually harvest those. So let's queue all of this area up. Oh wow, that's a lot of area over there. So that we've got a little bit of wood, but I want to keep that kind of trend. And what we'll do is we'll place a lumberjack right here, and we'll prioritize it up because we've got the unemployed beeves. And then what we'll do is in this area, we'll clear so we can put 2 more. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea not to plant the lumberjacks first over here, but that's okay. This area is kind of maintaining. I was hoping that it would grow a little quicker. And what we can do is we can fill in some of these spots now that they've cleared out all the rubbish. With a 28-day drought, we are going to run into problems where this area is going to dry. And what we'll do is, we have no planks and no gears because they're just completely trying to maintain. What we'll do is we will mark this row to be cleared, and we'll move it to a high priority since they should put it after the existing things. Oh, look, they might actually be done with the platform over here. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. This platform's ready. They're starting to build the next one over here. That's really good. So we absolutely need more water production over here too. All right, first things first. I get a little sidetracked at times. I was wanting to wait for dynamite, which I can't stress enough, but we're in a situation of absolute hurt here. So we'll leave room for a walkway, and we're going to do some levees. Let's pause this one because beavers love to get stuck, and we did not go far enough. Darn. Let's try this again. We need to be one further over. So let's cancel that. Let's get rid of those, and let's do that. Let's do. So it can go 16. So let's go a little bit further out as well. We'll do the walkway right here. Yeah, we'll do it right here. And again, we're just going to go ahead and pause that one. Place our actual pathway up. And bring our staircase, and then we'll do a water dump on top. So we'll let them kind of start building that. We'll prioritize that kind of right to the top. Ooh, so day 20 of the drought, we noticed our first dip in the water. So this area just dried out. So we might be in some trouble here. We did finish a few more actual water tanks. This one is about to finish probably in the next day or two of the actual drought, and they finished these over here, which means we've got a little bit more water. Now we're up to 2,400 water. I think we have about 8 days worth of water left. So with 8 days, I'm not very positive here. They've got to make some very big headway on getting on these over here done. We don't have an exorbitant amount of gears, but the good thing is once this one's built, we can start shipping gears over to the main district, which will help the main district out, which is kind of the route that I think we're going to take. And we're not pumping nearly enough water, so I think it's time to build out something here to try to get this water kind of going. All right, let's do 2 of them. So we'll need to tag these to be removed. If I could actually grab the tree removal, and we'll build. Keep wanting to go to landscaping for some reason. We should do something about like this. We'll bring it up to the same height, and then we'll do a 3 high there and a 1 high. A 1 high, that is, right here, with 2 more water pumps. And hopefully we can get to this water source before it dries out, because it looks like it's dropped down quite a ways. So we've got the actual beaver power to make this happen, but it's just kind of a if we can type of thing. All right, we'll plan out those roads. Let's go ahead and prioritize this up. So they should get going. They should actually build that first because we have planks again, which is good. We've all of the construction is slowed down enough to where planks are filling up, but now it's just getting the rest of the actual gears. All right, this one's done. Let's start routing the actual gears over. That way they can start heavy production on our main district, as our main district actually needs more water than our sister district there. All right, with 14 days left of the drought, we have 1 more water tank to go. But here's kind of the bad news. This area is completely dried up, and our actual spot over here, no more did we get it constructed than it dried up itself. So I mean, we're in rough shape here. The good news is we've got 2,000 water over in our actual sister district, the actual Maple Grove. That might be our saving grace, is we're approaching 800 water over here. The good news is we could probably shift some people over to Maple Grove temporarily, or we could transfer some water over. Puts us at 3,900 actual water. I think we have enough to make it through the drought itself. And as we say that, this area dried up. Wah, wah, wah. All right, we're going to pause all of these. I guess a Hail Mary that I could do is if I see the water dropping really fast, I could get rid of all of these actual research stations to switch them over to water pumps temporarily. But I think it's time to actually shift our focus, because this was a valuable lesson here, and how brutal the actual droughts could be. Thankfully, this water dump is maintaining the majority of these berries, as well as maintaining this farmland, which is amazing. Bread is absolutely falling for the first time. It means we don't have enough wheat, which is kind of to be expected. And with all of our water tanks now built, I think it's time to start putting a shift back into some things. So first things first, we don't need all of these power wheels and gearworks going. That will allow us to probably put some effort back into some things that we need. As well as we just don't need that many gears going forward until we have another situation like this. So let's get our berry goers back together. That way they can kind of keep things going. Now, does this area over here does have some wheat. So let's go ahead and unpause the bakery, and we'll go ahead and prioritize that back up. I will keep this gearworks going just long enough to get that going, and then we'll look at bringing the actual grist mill and power wheel back up and going. I absolutely think that pausing like all of the breeding was the right way to go, and we can probably start pausing these over here. And at least for, I did pause the shredder. At least for right now, I think running the actual gear workshop, this one nonstop, is an okay thing. We'll let the gears kind of bank up. I think we need some actual stability over here kind of going forward. So we're going to bring a walkway over. Let's do one more so we can kind of connect it here, because these are outside the actual district. And then what we should do is place some actual levees here for the future. I'm thinking right here. We'll bring it up to, that might be one too high. Yeah, it's one too high, but that's okay. We'll bring this across, and we will kind of secure that this area is an actual water reservoir. That means that we're going to have to do something about like this all the way around, just to kind of bring this up to the right height. We'll go here for this section, and we'll kind of go there. Once we're ready, we'll delete out this little chunk of road and replace that with levees, so that won't be... We'll kind of try to do that strategically. So yeah, something like that. I missed one in there. How the heck did I do that? Now I want this to be the absolute priority. Let's leave these 3 dams, and let's get rid of the actual topper there. And so this will be the secondary priority, will be all of the actual levees, and they're immediately just getting started on it, which is exactly what I was hoping. And we'll make this walkway over the priority. Now let's get that walkway finished, because we're going to need some triples over, and we're going to want a walkway here. So let's get some triples there. Then we'll update that to be in high priority as well. And what this hopefully will do is this will create this as being a water reservoir for the future. The problem that it's going to create is this area, which is going to be farmland, is going to be underwater for the majority of the time. So let's do levees right there. And part of me says we should do levees right here. The only bad thing about that is we won't have a walkway down to these trees, which we could pause these for the time being. And let's pause this gear workshop. I don't think we need that for the moment. We've got 25 gears, so we're in okay shape now. Let's do this, where we get rid of this and we place levees across. And we'll have to do some work in here, where we remove enough for a pathway. Let's do something like that. But I really think that we've kind of secured. I mean, we've got 3,000 water, which is definitely, we've actually dropped because the pumps have stopped, but we've got 3,000 water. I think that's enough to actually make it through the drought. We just have to kind of spend our water wisely, kind of going forward, which was unexpected. I was not ready for a 28-day drought. I have to say that was actually really, really, really interesting. And we'll just kind of let this area build out, and then in the next episode, what we'll do is we will break away this little town into being its own. I do want this to be... I want this town to be... because it's going to be focused around the fact that there's all this ruins over here. I want it to be a scrapyard. And so I'm going to look for a scrapped-themed name for it. As for the actual homeland, District 6, well... I am APH. My name's Adam. And my Discord is the House of H, and I think that this homeland, our actual capital, will be the House of H. So as this is probably going to be, as this is well over an hour worth of recording, I'm hoping to kind of edit it down to about 30 minutes. I think this is a good spot to go ahead and call this episode, as I'm fairly confident that we can make it through this drought, as we have made a huge amount of headway in securing our actual future without building a massive structure like I've seen. I've seen games where Cycle 15, they've got, you know, huge reservoirs, huge amounts of dams. They've used explosive everywhere. And to be honest, like, to get to my goal, I really don't need explosives. I just need the people and the ingenuity. So I think that we're going to take a very brute force effort to making it to that actual water source to make our things happening. Thank you guys for joining. If you like the episode, check out the channel where we do other survival games like this, as well as we'll be checking out some games in the future, as Patreon had a huge update. We'll be checking out that in the next few days. So again, thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you in the next episode.